Hello, welcome to Spinster actually. Today I just wanted to film a podcast episode for, I guess, kind of the month of April, but it's also sort of the month of March. I wanted to film this like sooner, but then stuff happened, but then that also kind of meant that I've like done more knitting, so my name is Anna Marie, and I'm gonna try not like edit this much, so sorry if there's lots of like pauses or whatever. I am currently like, well, I think you can probably tell that I sound a bit ill. Like, I'm much less ill than I have been in the past week or so. But yeah, I'm still kind of recovering, but hopefully like that's immaterial to you. I guess we'll start by talking about this. Which honestly does just look really pretty bad, doesn't it? But it's a felted crown I made. Everybody was like felting things and I wanted to be included, and I had a bunch of like leftover scraps of drop snow, I think is what it is. And so I decided to knit a little crown and felt it. And yeah, that's what I did. I took it to craft group. Everybody enjoyed wearing it in turns, and including the rabbits, which I guess I will have to insert pictures of so you can all see. Yeah, it like really did like felt a lot. I took some photos with I took some photos with like a tape measure before I felted, and then I still haven't like actually taken the photos of after so that I can like see the huge difference, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty big. And yeah, it was like an interesting experiment. I definitely want to try more. It's partially like Lydia Morrow, who, if you follow me, you know I'm like kind of obsessed with her patterns, even if I haven't really knit that many of them. But I just really love her like approach to making things, I guess, and like the things that she makes I think do tend to be pretty beautiful. But anyway, she posted on her stories like a pink bag that she was like working on felting, which I just thought like it's like so cute, so I really also was like kind of wanting that, but it's not a ready pattern yet or anything. And then like, yeah, anyway, so there's that. The other thing that I finished is what I'm wearing. I guess I will insert some like pictures and things, or maybe some video or something of me actually wearing this more so you can see it more, but it is the Darrowby vest by roseweck. It was like a bit of a faff to knit. I think I did talk a bit about some of my struggles with the ribbing that I had been knitting in the past episode. Yeah, that kind of continued. And I think basically what happened is I struggled with the like maths of the pattern, and then I also made a bunch of decisions within the knitting of it that I didn't then kind of like try to rewrite into the maths that I did for the pattern. So if you look at the pattern in its original form, like how it's actually designed, there's 5 cables and I only have 4. The 5th cable is like in the middle of the vest, and I did have that, and then I had knit like a whole chunk, and I obviously hadn't been like looking very closely at it, but then I finally did, and I like sat down and I put it on like the table or whatever, and then I looked and I saw how off center the middle cable was, and I really didn't want to like undo it all and go back to the ribbing and like reapportion the stitches, and because like at that point I'd already re-knit the ribbing a lot, and just like I just wanted to be able to knit, like I just wanted to be able to knit. So I did not do that, and instead I laddered all the way down with all of there's like 10, it's like a 10 stitch or maybe 12, I can't remember anyway, but like the cable obviously takes up particular stitches, so then I laddered all the way down on all of them, and then I like re-knit it up just in regular stocking stitch, and yeah, that's what happened. And then I kept knitting, and then blah blah blah. And I do, I mean, I really like the cable design. I think it's really nice, and I do think that this has ultimately turned out pretty nice. I think I did make it slightly small, which is partially because I was like trying to navigate the ribbing sizing that I wanted, and then yeah, the maths, and then blah blah blah. And I do think that some of the way that the pattern did or didn't work was sort of like related to the fact that you do just like put your maths in, but then it's like in terms of like decreasing or increasing, or if you wanted to look a particular way, it's just like a lot of work that you have to do to make the pattern work for you, as opposed to the pattern being like particularly helpful in that regard, you know. Like I did a bunch of like increasing, and I had to do a bunch of other calculations, and I did ask the help of my friends a lot because I'm bad at maths, to like, you know, help and check. But I did do some increases and things, so that it would fit my bust and it wouldn't be too tight. But then yeah, I think I definitely have like erred on the side of like it is slightly more fitted than I guess I wanted it to be. But also I do like this. I'm not like unhappy with how it came out. It's just more like there's maybe a bit more negative ease. Well, there's negative ease where maybe in some cases there should have been zero ease, or I didn't want positive ease, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm still really happy with how it came out. It is in green, and I'm really enjoying this green. I think it's a really nice green. It was from like leftovers of a friend who gave me like a whole chunk, and I really thought that I was going to use like a ton of it, and I still have this much left. And not only that, but this is spoilers for later, but like this much too. So literally like I barely knit any of it. Not even half. I think this was like 230 grams or something when I weighed it, which means there's like over 250 grams here left, I'm pretty sure, because I think there was like 500 and something grams that I was given. And yeah, my plan for this is to give the stuff I didn't use back, although I do have one little project I'm going to make from it first, I think, so, and I have okayed that, so it's okay. Yeah, I had originally planned, like when I first laddered down on the cable in the middle, that then after I blocked it, to get rid of some of the like the tensioning that was kind of clear, because there had been different stitches and cables and stuff, and to say the reason why I was just like, and I'm not going to re-ladder and like redo a cable in the right place, is because like that would have taken so long. I also don't actually know if I could have done that. Like it would have been, I guess, an interesting thing to try and learn. But I just was like, no, because, you know, I obviously had to ladder all the way down for all of the cable because it was totally wrong. And then I would literally have to like do the same for the rest of the, you know, it was just a nightmare not doing that. But I kind of comforted myself in thinking that maybe I would, I'll show you the yarn that I was potentially going to use. That I was maybe instead then going to do some duplicate stitch embroidery here in the middle, a bit like, there's like a Tyrolean jumper that has some really nice colour work on it, and I thought that that could be cute as like one little column. And I was going to use these colours. Specifically, I found this one, I was like, this is perfect, and then I was thinking, actually, I could make like leaves out of this, even though this is green, but then it's like two kinds of green, and it is a really nice kind of green. But I have decided I don't think I will do that, partially because of the fit of this vest. It's yeah, because of the negative ease, I just feel like the placement of where the duplicate stitch embroidery would just be pulled quite a lot, so I don't think it would give me the like look that I'd want for that. So yeah, I'm gonna retire that idea, but it helped me to ladder down and not feel so annoyed about it. And I do think that the cables look fine. The only thing is, I do think that they're like slightly too on the side. I kind of want them to be a bit more central, but other than that, yeah, it was definitely like interesting to learn about this as a process of like making things, and obviously it produced a garment that is wearable, and that's great. I definitely still want to try out some of the like patterns by the Sydney Roseweck, who's like Squid School of Vintage Knitting, because I really love vintage knitwear and I really want to wear vintage knitwear, I guess. I just also you know, have various barriers to doing that. So yeah, and I do have like more of her patterns that I have that I can knit, but I guess it is a good lesson to like remember that like if you do make changes in your actual knitting for whatever reason, then you should try to make sure that the maths that you're then doing to produce the rest of the pattern is updated. Yeah, okay. And then in terms of like things that I'm currently knitting, I do have quite a few. And what should we do? Let's just start with the most boring first. So I have made progress on my Tulsa tee, but I also have decided to what's this? okay. But I have actually decided to pivot from working on this for now. Yeah, you can kind of see that I've made some progress. In fact, I think that's supposed to be my progress stitch marker from whenever, who knows. And yeah, I think I just need to go one more round and then I'm going to split for the sleeves. And then I think it will knit really fairly fast. But I've decided to, yeah, like pause on this as my kind of like very easy stocking that project. Because yeah, okay, well I guess I will talk about this even though this is not really in order, but that's okay. Because I suddenly realized that it will be almost a year since I was working on, or like actually it is a year because I was working on this during April and March and May last year. But basically I was working on this sisymbrium jumper and I finished it in May, I think, and then I frogged back to the yoke to like here, I think, and because it just like I wasn't happy with the fit, but I did like knit this jumper during a really like particular time, and I do really love, I mean I love the yarn, like I think it's really beautiful, and I think, you know, when the jumper came out, like it was lovely. It just also like there were a few fit things that I didn't like, and I was just like reminded that time that a year anniversary is coming up, because yeah, I was like knitting this on during a really particularly special time and like a particular like special moment for me as well, and so I just thought it would be nice as like a year anniversary of that moment that I would maybe try to finish this so it would be ready this time, and so yeah, I just decided that instead of doing my Tolster knitting I would like swap this one in, and so I have, since I made that decision, where's my stitch marker? Yeah, I have made some progress, as you can see. Oh wait, can you see that? Here's my stitch marker. And yeah, so I knit the rest of the yoke and then I have now split for the sleeves. I'm not really convinced that this is going to be any better than the first go, to be honest, in terms of the fit. The way that I knit the size 4 last time, and then I decided to go down to size 3 this time, because yeah, there was just like so much space in the back of the yoke, and it seems like there still is from my try-ons, which is very annoying, but I think at this point I just have to kind of knit and also do some decreases, and I wasn't happy with how I did the rate of decrease on the back to try and mitigate like the bagginess. I think that again is probably going to happen this time too, because it's just so baggy and like I don't want it to be but obviously like in order for it to like not be like super obvious that I'm decreasing loads, then I need to like stagger the decreases to some degree, but because I'm just kind of vibing, and also I don't like, I just want it to be gone, like I don't but anyway, I think like it's gonna be a really pretty like thing to wear, even if I will have some issues with how it fits and stuff, and you know, it would just be really nice to finish it. And the other reason why I'd like to finish it as well is because I will definitely have leftovers, because I had a bunch of leftovers when I was knitting the slightly larger size, so yeah, I'm gonna have some leftovers of this, and then I do have a plan for it, which I kind of want to get to as well. So I think that's everything to say about this. Like, it's kind of a bit, you know, it's like, it's just fairly boring knitting, but yeah. When I was knitting it last time, there was definitely a point where I just like had to be doing like bust increases, which are not in the pattern or anything, and so that it would fit the front half of me, and so I definitely am trying to like, yeah, figure that out too as I go. So it's not a particularly like stress-free knit, and I do feel like every row I'm like, oh, should I try this on now? But it's kind of silly. And I kind of feel like we're maybe like out of the worst of it, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna knit it fairly cropped, which is what I did last time, because I like things cropped generally. But yeah, it was really nice to finally make some more progress on this, and like I think it is doable to finish in May. I don't think it's doable to finish before the like thing that happened anniversary event, but that's okay. I am also going away, so I might bring this with me to knit it, but I'm not sure. I think I might bring a different project to knit with me, but I don't know, we'll see. Could bring 2 projects, but that's kind of crazy. So yes, that's one thing that I'm working on. Another that I did talk about that I have made some progress with, but I have also kind of stalled on because I've been knitting on the other stuff, I guess, is this. And I did decide to stuff his head. He looks so good. I love him. So this is Joris. Yeah, and I love Joris. I really should get back to knitting him. You knit like, and then you put waste yarn so that you can pick up to make arms, and the same with legs, which I haven't got to yet, but I think that's the next step. And yeah, doesn't he look so cute? Oh my gosh, love him. That's something that I'd like to finish maybe fairly soon, but it's just like, it's not priority, but it's like nice. And then a project I started with the same yarn, because I thought it would be kind of cute, and obviously there was so much yarn left over. I was like, you know what I could do? I could make some mittens. I did get told recently that I'm like crazy about mittens, or that I have a mitten problem, but I do think that's really unfair because everybody's obsessed with knitting socks and I'm just obsessed with knitting mittens. Like surely that's the same. So yeah, this is the Sybil mittens pattern, which is another Sydney roseweck pattern. Yeah, I think I'm doing the smallest size. It's not gonna look like anything because it's literally just this. I just thought it'd be really cute to have like a jumper in this color and then like matching mittens, and the mittens do have like a really small cable thing, I think, if I remember correctly. So I also just thought that would be cute. And I don't really know how much I'll use, but I imagine that maybe I'll just use all of this little ball and then the rest I will give back, or I might have to crack into a bit of that, but we'll see. So yeah, this is kind of obviously slow going. Mittens are not exactly the kind of thing to be knitting during the springtime. But I also am kind of just vibing with whatever I want to knit as opposed to seasonal choices, but yeah. So the final thing to show you that I'm currently knitting is part of like a knit along actually, hosted by the designer, and that is for the bloodroot tea. And I recently like undid all of the progress I made, which wasn't very much anyway, but you know. So I'm back to even less because I changed to even smaller needles, because I blocked my knitting. I was really silly about my swatching. In fact, I was going to show you. Oh, look, here's the mittens. The Sybil mittens. Yeah, they have a cable. Anyway, this is my swatch for, just ignore this part. This is my swatch for the bloodroot tea, but this is actually my second swatch because my first swatch I just kind of like fucked around. I think I cast on 2.75s, then I went down to 2.5s, and then I was like at craft group and there wasn't any 2.25 needles, so I went down to 2mm needles, and then I knit that at that gauge. But I knit that at the gauge knowing that I would not be knitting the top in 2mm needles. There was just like no way I was going to do that. So then in the end I started knitting it on 2.5mm needles, which honestly I know, like, it's so silly because it's like, obviously if you're going to swatch, like, then swatch but do it properly, you know, like, why did I do it like this? And I do mostly always swatch because I just need to in order to know what to knit. Like, I don't really understand how people can not swatch and like know what they're gonna, like, know what gauge they're gonna get with the needles, you know, like I need that. But but in this case, like, I was just really silly. Like, it would have probably just been better not to swatch because it was a waste of time. If I was gonna just like not listen to it / you know. But anyway, so then yeah, I had like knit a chunk of it, or not really, like a small amount. And then I blocked it because I was worried. It's also because it's ribbing. I haven't really talked at all about the pattern, but I guess we'll get there. But because it's ribbing, obviously as you're knitting that, like, it's not going to look like that when you've blocked it and worn it, which is why you do need to like swatch and block to tell. And so yeah, when I did, I was just like concerned that it was definitely not getting gauge. It was too big. And so then I was like, well, if it is too big, I could go down a size. But the thing is, like, I really want this to fit really well, and like I have actually invested in I'm knitting it in Knitting for Olive cotton merino in this beautiful red, which is like red currant, I think. Yeah, it's red currant. Ribs red. That's probably not how you say it, sorry. I even bought like basically an extra ball because I just was worried that like I would need more. So yes, I have all of this, and it was like obviously like a chunk of money, and I really want this to be like the top that I'm imagining in my head, or at least like as close to that as possible. And so I just thought that actually it'd be better, instead of playing a game of like, yes, my gauge is off, but I knit a size below, to just like knit the correct size pattern at the correct gauge. So that, especially because I really like, this is a negative ease pattern, and I really wanted to have negative ease. Like I wanted to look how I wanted to. I also do really like that, I think especially with the 3/4 length sleeves, and with a tight fitting, it will not only work really well in my wardrobe, but also it has kind of like a vintagey look, especially I think in the colour that I'm knitting. Not that you can really tell from this, because that's where I'm at right now. But yes, it's what's the term? It's, you know, like this is like the back, I knit a chunk of it, then I pick up from here to knit the shoulders, and then I'll knit the front, and I'll start knitting it in the round again. Like satin sleeve, is that what it's called, I think? This is not the kind of construction I've ever done before, but I haven't really done that much like garment knitting, so that's not that surprising. And yes, so instead of knitting it on the 2.5s, I think is what these are, that I started with, I accepted defeat and I went to 2.25, and this is the smallest I'm gonna go. I am still like maybe a little concerned that it will be like not as like tight fitting as I want it to be, but I think you know I've got to knit more than this to know, I think so. And I really I don't think I can bear to go to 2 millimeters. But maybe I'll change my mind, who knows. I'm not expecting to finish this anytime soon, but it would also be lovely to finish. Obviously I chose like a cotton merino blend because I wanted it to be wearable basically all year round for me, but like, you know, maybe not in the hottest hot days, especially because I do want to have like 3/4 length sleeves. So actually 3/4 length would be like here, wouldn't it? I mean like sleeves that go up to here, I don't know. Just like one of the patterns that I'll put pictures so that you'll see, but you'll already have seen them probably. Anyway, the point is that yes, there's a KAL for this that I am trying to be part of. I do think that the end is actually in like June, maybe the beginning of June, so I do have like a bunch of time, and like hopefully I will get like far, and hopefully it will also help me to keep going and be motivated, because like it's just a lot of knitting ribbing, which is kind of silly for me because I have spoken about not liking ribbing. But I just think the top looks so good, I think it will hopefully be worth it. And I do really want to like knit things that like really work for my wardrobe and for me, and especially because like I mean I do kind of have plans to make myself sew a top at one point in my life, but it seems like that's gonna be a while. And so like I need my knitting to kind of step in to like help make some clothes that are like to wear as tops that will work for me and fit me, and that I like and can use in my wardrobe. It's also partially like I just feel like I don't have that many tops that are like more smart, like not super smart. I mean I don't have that many that are like super smart, but that's fine. But just like most of them are like very casual and a bit grotty. And so I think it would be good to have some nice ones that are a bit more like that could be kind of dressed up but also could be casual too. And I thought this would be nice for that as well. Is that everything? It would have been nice to show you my progress, but that's okay. Can you see the vision? Oh, I didn't say the designer's name. That's Andrea Gorn, but I'll also leave a link in the description box to like information about the make along, the knit along or whatever. And yeah, I think I did talk about this pattern maybe in the past video and like talked about my plans for it, because I have basically ever since the designer made a video talking about this design coming out, I've been like, I need to knit that because I think it would be nice, even if I'm not sure that I will enjoy the process that much. But that's okay. It also, like, obviously right now, like, I'm not knitting like loads for one row, so it does feel like I make progress, but I'm sure I'll get to a point where that does not feel accurate. Yes, okay, I think those are all the like knitting works in progress, as they say. I did want to show some yarn that I got, some more yarn. I did buy this like before I got the knitting for Olive. I got it off Vinted, so it was like, but it's partially because I was watching Katie, I don't remember her name anymore, I think it's changed, but Katie, like, she has like a book and fashion account, although I think it's like pivoting more and more just to fashion content, like, yeah, clothes content maybe. Anyway, and she made a vlog knitting, actually I think it was also an Andrea Gorn pattern called the Sunshine Tee in Sanders Garn Lena, but I think actually it was tin Lena, and this is just Lena, which is I think like a more worsted weight one. Let's see, yeah, this is like not fingering or anything, and I think the version of Lena that Katie was using was fingering. But yeah, so I went on Vinted to see if there were any, so that I could try this to see if I like this yarn. I got 6 skeins from the person on Vinted at a very good deal, and yeah, in this like purpley lilac color. Yeah, like lilac mauve. Suddenly all of my purple specifics are deserting me. Anyway, it's 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen, so obviously it's like a summer yarn. And yeah, I kind of like, when I first got it, I sort of had more ideas about it and then got waylaid with other things, but yeah, I guess I wanted to show it to you because it is like a yarn acquisition, and like hopefully I'll make something from it soon-ish. I'm not exactly sure what, because I kind of originally had been thinking that this was the same as the fingering weight version, so I could try and make a Sunshine Tee, but when it got here I realized obviously it's not that. So yeah, but there definitely are some other like, you know, summer, spring like knitting stuff that could work with this. I don't know, I've been like very depressed and not making a lot of great decisions recently, but that's okay. It's nice yarn and I'm sure I'll find nice use for it. Okay, I think that's everything I had to share. Yeah, it kind of feels like a lot of just like currently knitting, but I did, you know, I guess I did finish something recently, and yeah, I think it's also partially because I obviously did like switch from one thing to another, and have been kind of just like doing whatever, you know, doing whatever. Well, I think that's everything that I had to share. Yeah, I hope that you are having a good day when you're watching this. I hope that you, if you were knitting whilst I was talking, I hope you enjoyed your knitting, and I will, or whatever you were making, or crocheting, like whatever. Yeah, will hopefully make another podcast next month, or maybe the month after. We'll see how we go with progress and energy. Okay, bye!